Ni hao, 我是老师 Mei, and for today's video, we will be discussing writing Chinese character. So you see, Chinese characters are comparatively self-regulating from the phonetic system. There are approximately 80,000 characters in general and approximately 6,500 which might be used daily. Everyone has its own pronunciation, even though lots of them proportion the equal pinyin syllables. The big variety might also additionally make many novices experience scared and overwhelmed. After understanding the fundamental precepts of writing characters and guidelines in the back of it, mastering the writing of characters would really be easy. So to start, let's distinguish the difference between traditional and simplified. You see, both characters follow the same rule in writing. However, the only difference would be in the traditional Chinese character, it is mainly used in Hong Kong, Taiwan, Singapore, and several parts of China. However, simplified Chinese characters are mainly used in mainland of China. So the characters, Chinese characters, both traditional and simplified, may also be far different from each other. So we have 6 characters, Chinese characters creation mechanism. First is the pictograph, or in Chinese or pinyin, it's Xiangxing. So as you can see on the picture on the right side corner, so we have the sun, moon, cloud, and rain. Ancient people, or traditionally, they use pictographic memory to use or to develop character, just like the sun, the moon, cloud, and the rain. So that is number 1, pictograph. Ideograms, or the chi si. So these are characters that are different from pictograph, but they are more likely of the abstract. Just like, for example, in simplified and traditional, or the Shang and modern, number 1, or E, has a 1 stroke. 2, or in Mandarin is R, has 2 stroke. And in 3, San has 3 stroke. But don't get me wrong, because number 4, 5, 6 don't have 4 stroke, 5 stroke, and so on. It just follows on numbers 1, 2, and 3. E, R, San. Also, in above and below, as you could see, there is a small stroke on above and small stroke below. Same with the traditional character in above and below. There is long and small stroke above and long and short stroke below. So that's ideogram, using of abstract. Number 3 is associative compounds, or in Mandarin is Wei Yi. So as you can see, again, this is the sun, this is the moon. And together, it's combining 2 different characters, just like sun and moon, which literally depicts bright. When you combine sun and moon, transparently, it would become bright. So the character would be the combination of sun and moon. And there's a lot more associative compounds in the Chinese characters. So that is just an example. Number 4, we have the phono-semantic compound character. So you see, this is really quite interesting to know, since in Chinese or in China, there is really no character or no alphabet nor phonetic or phonetic system. So as you can see, ching, 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 ching. Same spelling, different pronunciation because of the tone marks, which will be discussed later on the next chapter. But they have different meaning. They also have different characters. Let's say, for example, the qing. Qing is a color. It's a green bluish color. When we add radical, that is a three red radical, which mainly depicts like a splash of water. So it makes the meaning clear water. So hindi na siya color, but it's a clear water. But the same spelling but different character because of the radical. If we add a speaking radical, qing, so the meaning would become ask or to request or you just please. Qing. Okay. And if we add the heart radical, qing, the meaning would now become emotions. If we add the radical spirit, we have qing, it became spirit, the meaning. And we add the I and the sun radical, then the meaning would have become I and sun. So you see, the same character, but when we add a radical on it, then the meaning would have become different. So number 5, we have mutual explanatory characters. So that is when the Asian people ran out of character, so they develop this way, these mutual explanatory characters, so that they could create new character. Let's say, for example, Lao and cow. So Lao and cow back way have the same meaning, which is old, but they twist some part of the character. As you could see, they add some stroke just to give depiction or differentiation. For Lao, meaning elder, cow, meaning instead of elder, now it means to test. So the character itself have a different meaning. So that's number 5. Next, we have phonetic loan character, or in Mandarin, it's jiaje. They took old character and used the same character for another word, just like this character. Originally, it meant right, or the opposite of left. And then they borrowed this character to give meaning to again. And due to the same pronunciation, then eventually they have another, or they developed another character for right, which became this character. So you see, there are a lot of characters having 80,000 characters. So there are a lot of characteristics. So with this, let's jump now into Chinese character writing principles. So we have different writing order scales. Like number 1, when you write a Chinese character, you start with top to bottom. And when a Chinese character is stacked, or it's piled up vertically, like the character Li, which means stand, the rule is to write from top to bottom. And when a Chinese character has a radical, just like what we discussed earlier, their character is written from left, upper left to lower left, and upper right going to lower right. That's number 1. Other writing order scale is symmetric counts. So when you are writing a character that is look like this, so there is a stroke in the center and another stroke on both sides, you generally start with the center stroke, or just like this, she for 10, number 10. Horizontal strokes are always written before the vertical stroke. Here is how to write the character. The vertical first and the horizontal first and the vertical next. So that is letter D. Next, we have the enclosure. So there are some characters just like this, sun. So you want to create a frame first of the character before you fill it. So start with the outer and then fill in the character, or the close frame last. Make a frame, then fill in some of the components inside after you write the middle strokes. Close the frame, such as the character hui or to return. And lastly, we have the character spanning, or the strokes or last. So same principle applies. Horizontal first, and then vertical, and then going up, and then make the spanning strokes on the last part. So in summary, practical, or in practice it on your own and refer to the following practice writing worksheet which will be provided. So remember that practice makes perfect. So use appropriate worksheets to have your practice writing, and if I may suggest, never use pencil, because if you would be using pencil, your mindset would be it's okay to have a mistake since there's an eraser. So since you are just practicing, try to use a pen and never mind a mistake, since reality will learn from our mistakes. So let it be. So use a pen either and not a pencil. When it's your habit to write, it will become natural. So just write and write until it comes natural for you. So happy writing, and thank you for watching.